14th of December 2006 with Val Cunningham, whose number is VX66007,
Yep.
39th Battalion, C Company, 13th Platoon. Val, in 1941, how old were you?
18.
And what led you to join the army?
That's a good question. I think myself that it was my father he was in the army in the First World War. That was one of the main reasons. Another one was to just for I don't know, I suppose excitement or learn something different or
What were you doing?
be in it with the rest of the blokes that went. You know, went to all my mates and everything. They joined up, and so I just walked into the Melbourne town hall. They grabbed me and signed up, and Bob's your uncle out. Went out to Royal Park to get our uniforms and everything.
What sort of uniforms? Were you ready for jungle warfare or?
No, just our normal army clothes. I've got a photograph there somewhere with me when I first joined up.
Well, how did you end up in the 39?
Well, we were doing our basic training at Darley. I must tell you this too. One day there, we went out to the rifle range. We're down there having a few shots at the targets in there, and all of a sudden a chap come along and laid down beside me. The next minute he's got his bloody hand on my backside. He said, "I'd like to have you as a batman." And I was only an 18-year-old kid. I'd never ever grown up and didn't even know what a bloody woman was about. But I said, "Listen, mate," I said, "if you don't take your hand where it is now," I said, one of these bloody bullets are going to go right through your so-and-so head." Learned to swear, you know. Anyway, he got off and run. And I was too young to report him because as I said, I didn't know what life was all about. But that was one of the things that happened during this training and all that. And then the mate that I joined up with, he come from South Australia, Bill O'Reilly was his name. They wanted volunteers to go to a special unit. And I said, well, didn't he? He said, "Come on, we'll go down there and see what this is all about." So we went down to Wilson's Promontory to a commando course. Mm-hmm. And I was doing very good. I was one of the, I'd love to say, one of the best, put it that way. Because a couple of things I'd done was A1 practically. One of them was we were split up into about 4 groups and to attack a mountain, Mount Oberon. Mm-hmm. And I was the only one that took my mob the right track. The only thing I didn't do right was send a couple of scouts out to scout around to see if there's anybody there. Anyway, we're out one night. And to this day, I've still got this phobia. We went up this mountain and we were coming down, doing a night patrol sort of thing. Coming down, we had to go down this side of this bloody mountain. I said, "Oh, I'm not going down there, mate." He said, "Why?" I'm bloody frightened of heights. I still am. I can't even look out of a second-storey building to bloody look down. So they took me up back to Caulfield. And another thing too, somebody whispered that I was only 18, only a boy, you know, trying to smooth things over. That didn't count. No. And then what happened then, we went to Caulfield. Two or three of us were sent back. But class no good, sort of thing, in their eyes. The mob of us went down to Queenscliff to put barbed wire around the beaches at Queenscliff, and that's going to come back up later, that barbed wire. Anyway, we all got vaccinated, and the main one didn't take, so they put me in the Queenscliff Hospital. And I was there for 2 days. When I got out from the hospital, went down there, not a soul around, but all gone. All the mob that we went down there with had gone. Know where they went to? Singapore. So how lucky was I? Then we eventually go back to Caulfield. Well, I got back to Caulfield, and then on I think it was the 11th, or I think it was the 11th of March. We were all put on parade. Our name and number was called out. Righto, pick up your gear. We're off to Port Melbourne to get on the Taroona to go to Moresby. And that's how I got into the 39th Battalion. And the thunder thing too, I still can't remember whether they checked us on the boat as we went in. Well, I got an idea, we just went in there like a herd of sheep.
So the Taroona went from Melbourne, did it?
Yeah, we went from Melbourne to Taroona. The Taroona used to do day trips around the bay. I don't know whether anybody else had gone away, and I thought we might have been the first ones that used the Taroona, I don't know.
When you went on the Taroona, did you know where it was going?
No, nothing. We didn't know a thing. All I remember is we got out of the heads, and that during the night, I was wondering where in the hell we were, and in the morning I got up, and I looked around, and all I could see was water, bloody sea. So I went and wrote a letter to my grandmother, telling her about all the water. I said, isn't there a bloody lot of it? And right up till practically the day she died, she always used to bring that letter up. I didn't write to my mother or anybody else, it's my grandmother. And my auntie, she died at 99, and she always used to keep it up. You can always remember that letter.
When did you realise you were going to New Guinea?
Nobody knew till we got there, till we got off the boat.
So you could guess?
No, we didn't even guess. Nobody knew anything. They didn't tell us a thing.
How did you feel about that?
Just thought it was a part of the act sort of thing, you know. We're just going to get up here and do what we've learned to do, sort of thing. We're going to try and get an act, but nobody knew anything about Japanese or where they didn't tell us a thing. Not one thing.
You did not even know who the enemy were?
Oh, yeah, we knew that Japs were up there somewhere, but because I was only a kid, I didn't really realise anything like that.
Did you have, what happened on the Taroona? It would have been a few days. Did you have exercises? Did you come under?
No, I think we might have had a few runs around the deck or something like that, because I can remember once though, we'd be below decks and all of a sudden, bang, they had a bloody gun on the back of the bloody boat. And I said, hello, I grabbed my rifle and that, and up we went, and everybody, and somebody's yard. It's all right, it's only practice. We didn't even know that, that's how things were. We didn't even know there was a gun on the thing.
When you got to New Guinea, how did you know whereabouts you were in New Guinea or what your job would be?
Never ever heard of the place before.
Was there a sense of excitement when you landed?
Oh, yes, I suppose it was, you know. A lot of them the same age as me too, only boys sort of thing, and we just like kids learning to play marbles, I suppose. I don't know, you just went with the crowd.
What were your impressions about being in a foreign country? What can you remember most? Buildings, the vegetation, the people?
No, it's altogether different to me because coming from the cold part of Australia into a hot, you know, steamy sort of thing, it was a bit hard to realise, and until we got used to it, we got used to it, no worries.
Whereabouts were you accommodated?
Well, we were taken to a holding unit. That's about the only thing I can remember. We went to this holding there, and then we were segregated into different companies and whatever, you know. I can't even remember who. I can only remember about 3 or 4 different names from the unit. Just kept with me because of little things that happened. I can't even remember any officers or sergeants or anything like that. I wouldn't have a clue. All I remember was we were sent to 13 Platoon C Company.
And what work did you do?
I can't remember any work we done in in the unit, but a lot of us were sent down to the sea and put barbed wire all around from Moresby right around past the aerodrome. And I can remember this sergeant, I can't remember his name, but the sergeant yelled out, "Who can swim?" And I put my hand up, I could swim like a fish. We were put out into the back part of the weather, not on the shoreline, in the water part, with the barbed wire. And we'd done that for, must have been a fortnight, 3 weeks or something. Must have been doing that.
Well,
And the funny part about it, one bloke at the turnout the other day, I was talking to him, and he said, "Yeah, I was in that." He said, "Oh, yeah, I was doing that." He was with it. And then, not long after that, we were picked out to, I don't know whether it was just C Company, 13 Platoon, or just people picked out from the unit to put a telephone line from Moresby right through to lower levels. That was just before you get to the higher country. Anyway, about 3/4 of the way up, that's when I got dysentery. I had to come all the way back to Moresby.
how did you find the jungle and the mosquitoes and the heat?
Oh, they were annoying, put it that way. They were annoying, but you live with it because it was a part of the environment. You had to live with it. The mosquitoes just weren't biting individuals; they were biting everybody.
How did you deal with it?
But during the stay, I went to hospital a couple of times with malaria.
Yeah.
But other than that, you learn to live with the environment. Put it that way.
Was there much fear? Fear of the environment or fear of the enemy when you were there?
Well, I never got in touch with any rifle individual, face to face. I've never seen one, never seen the Japanese, only from aeroplanes. But when I was in the dysentery place, well, before that, when we first went up there, there was only a little aerodrome called Keeler Aerodrome. That was the Port Moresby major aerodrome. That was on the right-hand side. And 7 Mile was a cricket pitch. I always remember, this is a big cricket pitch, which they made into Jackson's Drome in the end. And for a start, they just made it. And every day the Japs used to come down there and strafe it. And our hospital was right on top of the hill at the end of the bloody aerodrome. And the Japs used to go, didn't give a bugger about the hospital tour, just kept bloody firing their guns. And I could always remember this, and I'll remember this till the end till I die. We had no slit trenches to jump in. So after that I did put a slit trench everywhere I bloody well went. And everybody else used to jump into my slit trench. But I can remember this, but went over the side of the hill this way, and the Japs were coming that way. And the bullets were bloody, see the bullets sitting on the ground alongside you. And here's me grabbing grass, putting it in front of me. I know it sounds stupid, but to me at that time, it was stopping the bloody bullets from coming at me. But I remember how I'd done it a few times. Just scared stiff, frightened.
I think that's very logical.
Yeah.
So you always made sure that there was a slit trench dug.
Oh yeah, my word. When we come, and then, I haven't told you about going up. After I got out of the hospital, we went to Murray Barracks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they picked out a mob to go up to a little place named Kennesia. It's about 150, 200 mile up the road. We went in a little boat, and there's an aerodrome up there. They didn't want the Japs to come and fly people in or parachute them in, so they sent us up there as a machine gun company, or wouldn't be a company, it was only about 20 of us, I suppose. When we got up there was already a Beaufort company there, and every day a Japanese Zero used to come down and see, make sure it was still occupied. There's a deterrent for them to try and capture it, sort of thing.
Did you get used to that plane, or did it frighten you each time?
The plane, no. Wasn't frightened. I was only one, and anybody with common sense would know that if you're in a direct line, you've got to take cover. But if it's on the side of you, you don't have to worry about it. Exactly the same thing as when the bombers used to come over in Moresby. You had to wait. As soon as they got to a certain degree, we're right. What Moresby's going to get it, all that sort of thing. You just learn these sort of things.
Did you have faith in the way the war was being run by your commanding officers and in equipment and leadership and all of that?
Yeah, well, I wasn't too good on the authority. I had red hair and pretty wild, but no, I got along all right with them. There's no worries as far as that's concerned. It practically run themselves. That's what happened right through my life. I played cricket and football and golf.
Now, what was it like living in Moresby? Were you under canvas and tents?
Yes, yeah.
Waterproof?
Oh, more than likely, yeah, but yeah, some did get in, water did get in now and again, because you do get nice heavy showers up there. It even rains up in Moresby or up in New Guinea when there's no clouds in the sky.
What about your sanitation? Did you have showers? Did you go out into the rain?
Well, when I was in the heavy ack, like when we come back from Kennesia, we went back to Murray Barracks again, and then they reallocated us to. They didn't in that Anzac Day book. It said that when the people come from hospitals and different places to Murray Barracks, they were reallocated down to their own unit, which I wasn't.
Mm.
So they must have seen I was only a little bloody kid, sort of thing, and they said right over to the 23rd Heavy Ack. But I was sent out to what we call Harry 4. That was a battery out at the Loki Aerodrome, and the Loki river used to go past there. That's where we used to get our washes and swims and every day, and that was good.
And food, drink and tobacco. What was the food like?
Oh, just normal thing. Oh,
What's
it wasn't bad, but we got sick of it. You get sick of it, monotonous. And then brilliant people here in Australia found out how to, instead of putting bully beef into tins, they dried it and dried bully beef and that meat. And eggs was the same. I used to make them into a powder sort of thing. And then our cook up at Moresby got this. Nobody knew how to cook the bloody stuff. They didn't know they had to put it in water overnight. So it'll become good. But that wasn't that bad. It was eatable. That was the main thing. Just change.
Could you buy fresh food from the natives, or weren't you allowed to do that?
No. I don't think anybody ever got. Some might have snuck a few wild pigs or something like that and bought them from them, but no. Then we used to nick off now and again and get into a plantation and get some pawpaws and custard apples and a few things like that.
And drink? Was there plenty of beer?
No beer whatsoever.
No drink at all?
No alcohol, no.
And tobacco, I see.
Yes, tobacco. We used to get tobacco. It cost us, I think it was a shilling shilling an ounce, I think. A tin. They used to have them in tins, and like coffee, you've got the aluminium stuff in on it, yeah, that type of thing. And after 2 years up there, I'd been saving a lot of my tins because I never used to smoke very much, but I got finished up getting 100 tins to put in my haversack. I came home the first time and all my gear and everything like that. And I said to my father, I said, Daddy, you got a smoke on you? He said, oh, Jesus, son. He said, no, that's one thing that's bad here, down in here. He said, back us very hard with ration and all that jazz. He said, I'm rolling butts. He said, I went into my room there and got me haversack and I went, 100 tins of tobacco. But oh, God, I should have seen it. I wish the God had a movie camera. Oh, got no idea. There was only about two, I think, tins were mildew out of all that 100 things.
You obviously weren't carrying your pack.
But that was good.
And what about payments? How much were you paid, and how was the payment made?
With the bank book, just a book. Used to get paid every fortnight. But I was only on 2 and 6 a day because I used to send made out an allotment for my mother, and she got 2 and 6, and I got 2 and 6 a day.
Right. And what about communications? Could you get letters to and from?
Yes, I used to write. I used to write and write and write. And that when I was in the ACAC, I got called up to the offices, to the boss in tent one day of his headquarters, and I wrote to one of my mates, and I knew he was in Moresby too, and I'm telling him a few things and about the slit trenches and everything like that, and oh, gee, I thought I was going to get shot. Oh, did they call me over at bloody Coles? Yeah, it's in me. It's in the report from the what do you call it? Oh, the place in Canberra where they keep everything, all that. It was even in that I was told off, or what? I just forget the name of the word.
Because there's a censorship, was it?
Yeah, buddy.
Now, writing was obviously important to you.
I used to write.
You got on the Taruna, you were writing.
Yeah, from the start off I was writing, and used to write to quite a few people, and in the end I told my mother, if she can't write properly, don't write anymore, because she scribbled. I couldn't understand what she was writing about, which I thought a bit crooked on myself for doing it in the first place.
And are these letters still around?
No, I don't.
Lots of things of tobacco that you never used, probably because you were too young. I believe you were given razors as well. Is that right?
A razor, yeah.
And you were too young to use it?
The quartermaster said, there you are, son, you'll need this one day.
Did you feel awfully young when you arrived in New Guinea?
No, not actually, because after that incident about that bloke putting his hand on my backside, I grew up very quickly, and I thought, oh, I was a man. And I got an idea that's where I started smoking, going up in the boat. That's where I think I learned to smoke, because I'm a man, you know.
And you were challenged. Did you find it challenging or boring when you were in New Guinea?
No, it was just there's something happening every day. Practically, sometimes, a lot of the time, there's the same thing happening. But especially when the air raid started coming every night, the bombers used to come over, and we used to know who was going to cop it, because you just knew where the planes were and what angle they were at. We waited till that angle finished, and we just down tools, and we took up action positions. But as soon as the planes went over, we just went back to do what was doing. That's all we're doing. Sometimes we used to get them in the daytime, sometimes nearly every night. That was the main one. That was the worst part of it, in the night.
And
So I
you,
can remember one time there, I yelled out, "There goes that Lever's tent." That's another name that I remember backing up. I can't remember the 39th, the Thomas Blokes. So here goes that Lever's tent. It missed it by about 2 feet. It wasn't bad. A little bit of holes in it, but
and you said you had malaria twice.
yeah.
When did you first get it?
Oh, I think it'd been 43, I think. 43, and I think I went back again, 43 again. But what I got it from Harry 4 out at the local drome. I don't remember that. That was at the 9th AGH. It's out 20 odd mile out, about 20 mile out of Moresby now. That was one of the first AGHs that were built there. And they treated you marvellous.
Now, you went to hospital first with dysentery, didn't you?
Yeah,
Where was the hospital? Moresby?
yeah. Oh, well, no, it'd be so about 5 mile out from Moresby. Murray Barracks was way about a mile back that way, and then there's as I said before, the Japs used to come down this little hill, and that was 7 miles to drive. This where the Japs used to come down. That was the old cricket pitch,
Mm-hmm.
and used to come over the hill, and just and you see the bloody bullets hitting the ground alongside you, sort of thing. But it was marked. It wasn't a hospital, in fact. It was just a big marquee with stretchers here and there.
Is it one big marquee, or
Yeah, one big marquee sort of thing, with just stretchers in it. Whether they improved after I went in there, I don't know.
And what about the nursing staff? Who nursed you?
Men, you had to practically look after yourself. At the dysentery thing, they just couldn't hold your hand and take you to the toilet and sit on there. And just before I got to this place, one bloke had enough, and he reached underneath. They still didn't know how he done it. Reached under and got his wife and shot himself. Bang! That was just before I got there.
So what was morale like in the hospital?
At this one,
Yes.
very, very low. Oh, yes, everybody's too quick to worry about anybody else. And if anybody was moaning or groaning, or no, they didn't have enough strength to bloody tell them to shut up, sort of thing. Because they were in the same boat as you were. You were bloody very, very ill. You were sick. I was like, I come out of there practically like those blokes that come out of Singapore prison camp, sort of thing. Oh, I was very, very skinny.
And food was provided.
No, not there. All we had was black tea, no milk. We didn't have any food whatsoever. Because if you had food, it'd help the germ that's in your body. You had to get this germ out of your body.
Were there padres or other people to offer support?
I can't remember, no. I don't think so.
You've spoken about some of the blokes. What can you tell us about your mates who there? Did you form close friendships with anyone?
Not in the hospitals, no.
No.
No. No way. You were looking after number one all the time.
And there was no one virtually to support you at all?
No, hardly anybody talked to one another. That bloody sick, you know. Bloody practically put their hand up their bum to stop somebody going into your pants for you. You're a crook.
This would make you homesick, I would think.
Home didn't even come into your mind.
No?
No. All you want to do is to get better and get out the bloody place. That was the main reason you want to do there. All you thought of, you don't want to die, keep going. You're right, you know. Because I've been a positive man all my life. Some of them were pretty negative, you know. But yourself, look after yourself. Don't worry about it. Be all right, no worries.
How long were you in hospital for?
in that hospital.
Mm.
Well, I must have been in there for about 4 or 5 weeks. I was in there for a long time.
And when you came out of hospital, what was your next step? What happened then?
That's when we went to Murray Barracks. Everybody out of hospitals and that have recuperated used to get sent down to Murray Barracks, where they reallocated you back to the unit or whatever, what they think of it.
And that's the point you left the 39th, isn't it?
Yeah, that's when I left 39. That was the end of it. And then I went up to, as I said, up to this little drome up at Kennesia
Mm-hmm.
and came back again. Then I got into the 23rd Heavy Attack until I came back on leave.
Any things you'd like to tell us about that time?
Is there anything?
Yeah, when you were in the 2nd Force?
Oh, in the 2nd Fourth, no, that was later on. I came home on leave and then we went up to WEWAC as reinforcements to the 2nd Fourth.
You've got a complete history of your time in the army with you, haven't you?
Oh, that's the, what those books they give us. And
Bible.
yeah,
So that's a really, really important piece of Australia's history there that you are keeping. When you look back on all your time in the army and what it all meant, is there anything you would like to tell people that's really, really important to you?
yes, instead of shooting people in different countries, send the people that run the country, send them over there. And send their own bloody kids over there. But war's stupid, nobody wins. Now we beat Japanese and what happened? Their bloody king didn't even get a bloody smack on the wrist, which he should have got hung, as far as he didn't know. And the excuse was that he didn't know what was going on. That's a lot of crap. The greatest lot of crap. But there's one thing about the 39th, what other units, what would I say, learned. They learned a lot of things about the 39th Battalion, what they did and what they didn't do. For a start off, they didn't have the proper training in the first place. And when I got to the 2nd Fourth, it was like a run machine. It was like a machine. Everybody knew exactly what was going to do, what the bloke in front was going to do, and the bloke in the back looking after the other blokes in front of him. But up the track, they said it was bloody just one big schmozzle. The officers weren't trained for the job. That's what we learned all the way from the back. When I was in the 23rd Heavy Attack, we were getting things filtered down from the front and keeping us in touch with what was going on up there. Because at one stage there, they were going to strip half of the different units that were down there, non-combatant units, to reinforce them up there. That was on the cards at one stage of the game. And we even heard at the 53rd done a bunk, but the other day at the reunion thing down there at luncheon, a couple of blokes told me that it wasn't that way. They didn't do a bunk at all, and the officers were supposed to have done a bunk. They were shifted to a certain section, but they went to the wrong bloody place. But we got filtered through that they'd done a bunk, but that's wrong. So I've been under the wrong impression for years and years. Because that was the 53rd and 49th made up the 30th Brigade with the 39th. And New South Wales was the 53rd and Queensland was the 49th. From the first day of Tattersalls, I've had the 4 numbers in Tatstoto. 39th, 53rd, 49th and the 30th Brigade, those 4 numbers. We'll show you the thing if you like.
Well, we
I've
hope,
had them there for years, ever since the start.
well, one day your numbers will come in.
Yeah, they have come up with a lot of little numbers, prizes.
Well, on behalf of the 39th History Group, thank you very much for your time.